So how do you keep your viewers watching your videos? Well, you need to be interesting. And in order to be interesting, you need to be prepared. And I want you to show up as yourself. And we're going to talk about all of those things when we get back in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. Okay, so how do you keep your viewers interested? You don't have to be an animated bunny rabbit. You don't have to sell your soul to the devil, and you don't have to do shtick. What you do need to do are 3 things. You have to think about how you're going to engage your audience before you hit record, while you're on camera, and then afterwards. Yep, there's an afterwards to this, my friend, so that you're not just creating video vomit or yawn, boring videos. So let's jump into the first part, which is what do you do before you even hit record? Little truth bomb here. How interesting your video is has very little to do with your personality, but you're thinking interesting like, oh, animated, you're interesting to watch. And that is not where this begins. This begins with your viewer, with your audience. Let me explain. You have to know your audience. You have to get inside of their head. I don't want you creating topics based on what you think your audience wants. I want you creating content based on what you know your viewers want to watch. I want you creating fuel, not filler. Filler is video vomit, my friends. Filler is video simply for the sake of making videos, not to engage an audience. So how do you do that? You have to do some research on what is your audience YouTubing? That's my word smash up for YouTube and Google because they're the same. Someone Googles, you see a YouTube video. And then I want you to ask, I want you to go into your community and ask them what kind of videos would they like you to produce? And then I also like to go into groups. Facebook groups are great for this because you can go in there and just see what kind of questions are people asking for. There's even a little search bar where you can put in video and all the comments about video come up. So I know what people are asking about videos, and then I make videos answering those questions. Another great one that I don't see a lot of people doing is go to look at Amazon reviews. So find a book on your niche and go and look and see what those people said about that book. You can go do a video about some of the great things people are saying, or if you see, oh, this book was missing this, make a video about that because people want to learn more about that. This is your plan. This is your pre-production. This is how you are going to come up with video topics that are interesting to your viewer. That's step number 1. Now, the second thing you need to do is, what do you do when you're on camera? What can you do when you're on camera to be more interesting, more engaging? Now, what you do on camera can take a little bit of practice. You're not going to nail this right out of the gate, but there are 2 things I like to think about when trying to be just more interesting on video. This is while we're recording right now. Look what I'm doing. Some of it is verbal and some of it is what I call spatial. So let's go over some of the verbal things you can do. Listen, writing copy and text and articles is very different than how you actually speak. I want your videos to be much closer to how you actually speak. I want them to be a conversation. Yes, I understand that it is awkward to have a conversation with a little green dot, but that you can get used to. So here are some things that you can include in your script, in your video, that are going to make your video more engaging. Contractions. Don't say cannot, do not, should not, can't, shouldn't, don't. That's how you would talk if we were in person. The other thing is if you say y'all, say y'all. If you throw an F-bomb every once in a while, throw an F-bomb every once in a while. It's okay. It's conversational. That's human, that's engaging, and that's interesting. Some other things I want you to think about is no geek speak. What do I mean by this? Now, I don't mind if you want to geek out on neuroscience, but tell your audience that, hey, I'm about to geek out on neuroscience. That gives them a little insight into your personality. It warns them that you're about to go into some neuroscience, but you don't want to be using a lot of industry terms that your audience may not understand. For instance, I'm from the pro video world. If I started talking about cans and sticks, you'd be like, why is she talking about garbage and the trees? No, cans are earphones. Sticks is a tripod. If I start throwing out stuff like that, people are going to get lost. So be careful with the geek speak. Another thing I want you to keep in mind is that you're talking to one person. No royal we. It makes people feel excluded. They want to feel like you're talking just to them. So talk just to them. And then finally, when we're talking about verbal, I want you to think about, am I filtering? Am I holding back? Am I not really being me on camera? And again, this is going to take you a little while, but you will get more comfortable, more interesting on video, the more you allow yourself to actually shine. So if you feel like you're holding back, you're not able to be you, that is never going to work on video. Your audience has a very high BS meter, and they're going to know if you're not being genuine. Okay, now let's talk about things you can do spatially in order to keep your audience watching your videos. The first thing is framing. You knew I was going to talk about it, right? I want to make sure that you are front and center. We can see you and that you are connecting with the camera. Again, your eye line is so important for people to feel like you are talking to them. If you're shifting around and looking at all different places, you're not trustworthy. You're not interesting. If I'm connecting with you and I'm looking at you, you feel like you are part of the conversation. Now, I want you to fill your space and use your space. Use gestures. If you're a hand talker, talk with your hands. I've even been known to talk with my eyebrows. Lean in. Talk a little softer to really engage them. Tell them to write something down. This is very important. You should write it down. When you change your tone, when you lean in, you're engaging people because that's the way a real conversation would happen. So again, you want to make sure you're staying connected with your camera. That's your eye line. You're filling the space and you're changing it up and keeping your video interesting. Robots are not interesting. Now, the last thing that you have to do in order to get your viewers to watch your videos is drive them to your videos. This is the after, folks. And I cannot tell you how many people are practicing the field of dreams marketing when it comes to their videos. Just because you make the video doesn't mean people are going to find it, no matter how interesting it is. So make sure that you are drumming up excitement. Hey, I have a video. It's coming out soon. Before your video. Hey, I have a video now. Go watch it. Hey, I recorded a video, send it to your email list. Make sure that you are constantly driving people to your videos. No matter how interesting your video is, if people don't know it's there, crickets. Oh, this has been fun. And I hope that I've inspired you to take some imperfect action. The only way you are going to start making videos that your viewers actually want to keep watching is by making videos. There's no magic pill. You know it. I know it. But if you're looking for more support, if you want to show me your videos, if you want some help, go ahead, scroll down, sign up for my hot weekly video tips delivered directly to your inbox. And I'll see you right here next week. Hit that music, Amanda.
Friend of me, any me. All these next just wanna be a mini me. All these next just wanna be a mini me. All these next just wanna be a mini me. Friend of me, any me. All these next just wanna be a mini me. All these next just wanna